Hello people of the internet, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My girl Christina suggested we do 2-sentence horror stories a while ago, so that's what we're doing. Hey girl, hey! As always, before we get started, don't you forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And if you have your own Reddit-like story, like the ones we read on this channel, that you would like to share with me to read in a future video, make sure to email this email right here, which is also available in the description down below. The story does not, I repeat, does not have to be your own. You could have written it yourself. You could share your mom, your dad, your grandpappy, your best friend's story. Just let me know the details. Details. Lastly, if you're feeling generous and you're loving the content and you want to show some love and tip your favorite waitress, here's my tip jar information, which is also available in the description down below with the email. Anything is greatly appreciated. Okay, that is enough from me. Let's get into these 2-sentence horror stories brought to you by Reddit. I always question why I love horror content, and I can't decide if it's from the rush of adrenaline you get after being scared, or if I weirdly like to experience like overwhelming complex situations in a safe environment. Or maybe it's both. Or maybe I'm just fucked up. Anyway, the first short story is, there was a picture on my phone of me sleeping. I live alone. The next, my sister says that mommy killed her. Mommy says that I don't have a sister. It sat on my shelf with thoughtless porcelain eyes and the prettiest pink doll dress I could find. Why did she have to be born still? Oh, I don't like that one. The funeral attendees never came out of the catacombs. Something locked the crypt door from the inside. If it is locked from the inside, they could unlock it and leave. Am I dumb? Did I understand that right? Probably not. Probably not. Because I'm high. You wake up. She doesn't. Attending his funeral today was really scary. It might have been the constant muffled screams I heard, or the worry of someone noticing the dirty hands. Or, excuse me, the dirt on my hands. I ruined the scary effect for this one. I was having a pleasant dream when what sounded like hammering woke me up. After that, I could barely hear the muffled sound of dirt covering the coffin over my screams. The next, the heart attack came and went, knocking Mike into unconsciousness, and as he awoke, he could hear the graveside service around him. Somehow the casket was translucent to him, and he recognized some of his friends. But his body would not move, and he realized with terror what death really was. The next, as he woke up once again in the same doorless room, his body covered in the accumulated blood and sweat from the previous nights, he noticed a gun in the corner, which he grabbed up and pointed to his own temple. Soon, he would be reunited with his wife and daughter with a merciful bang. But as he pulled the trigger, he was greeted only by a cold, metallic click, click, click. Well, that's sad. That one's not scary, that's sad. Is it fucked up that the song, what you say, that enlightenment. Wow. Well, of course it did. What you say? Okay, if you watched the OC or like that SNL skit, you know what I'm talking about. And if you know what I'm talking about, you're my people. The dead are watching us now. That's the good news. This sounds like the start of a Doctor Who episode. Neatly laid across my dining room table, I found a dull kitchen knife, a torn, crusty rag, and a flip video camera which seemed to be recording. I own none of these items. Next, ready to settle down for the evening, I put on my headphones. The whispering coming from them startled me. They were not plugged in. Bum bum bum. They're Bluetooth. The next story. The last man on Earth sat alone in a room. There was a knock at the door. Maybe it was the last woman on Earth, like, damn. She wondered why she was casting two shadows. After all, there was only a single light bulb. Nighttime swimming is one of the benefits of working at a public pool. One night, after everyone left, I was wading in the deep and felt a hand grab my ankle. The next, the longer I wore it, the more it grew on me. She had such pretty skin. Did Hannibal Lecter write this? When next you are completely alone, imagine you are listening to a sound of some kind. When that sound seems to stop, you'll know that you've been noticed. I kiss my wife and daughter goodnight before I go to sleep. When I wake up, I'm in a padded room and the nurses tell me it was just a dream. The next story. My grandmother told me that it was a gift to see the angel of death in front of people's houses, to know that he'd be collecting someone there soon. I thought it was a gift, too, up until the day I began to see it in front of every house. Apocalypse, apocalypse. The next, when I was a toddler, a drug-addled homeless woman ran up to my father, ripped me away from his embrace, and sprinted away. She knew she couldn't physically stop my father from jumping off the overpass, but thanks to her, I didn't die with him. After sex, I always feel guilty. It's so difficult to continue the autopsy afterwards. I have to remind myself that I'm the only veterinarian in the city. Bitch, how could this get progressively worse? Oh man. Turn back, I begged my friend as he drove, sirens wailing in the background. He seemed desperate not to, at first, but after I got one of his earplugs out, he agreed that their voices were too beautiful to ignore. I was born with the ability to psychically experience the happiest memories of any human by merely touching their skin. I didn't realize this worked with the deceased until the day I felt a rush of joy along with vivid flashes of somebody's past, just as I bit into a burger from that diner on Route 40. My daughter Sadie was kind, loving girl, and we just want her to return safely. Please, I plead. Sadie is. I corrected myself in front of the mirror. I love you, my husband said to me, causing me to turn around and smile at him. We should run away together, he continued, my face going white as I realized he had my phone in one hand, reading my texts aloud and a gun in the other. My roommate kept stealing my salt, so I replaced it with sugar to teach him a lesson. After I hadn't seen him for 4 days, I broke into his room to find a circle of salt around his messy bed covered in tiny like that one a lot. For April Fools, me and my brother pranked my dad that there was a ghost in the house. My dad quickly called the priest and said it happened again. She showed up again, which was odd because this was our first time pranking him. The mirror no longer shows my reflection. Instead, it displays a life where I'm missing and everyone's happier without me. That is a nightmare. God is looking for a successor. The position will be awarded to the highest bidder. Plot twist. I would rather an alien be God than Elon Musk, because he would just replace everything with the letter X, and I'm not here for it. I smiled at the top. I smiled as the top of the hill was finally in sight, knowing I had made it. But as my muscles gave in and the boulder started rolling down, I suspected that this was going to take longer than I thought. I normally wouldn't take a babysitting job of someone I don't know, but the wage on the flyer was really good. It was only after they showed me to the crib that I understood the rotting smell permeating the house wasn't coming from the kitchen. And if I wanted that 50 an hour, I'd have to stay with it all throughout the night. See, it's perfectly safe, she said to the little girl as she shoved the fork into the electrical outlet. Let me try, said the little girl with curiosity as she took the fork from her imaginary friend. In all my years as a surgeon, I had never had a single patient file a complaint. The poor guy on the table didn't know it, but I couldn't let him be the first one. This is a message for help. The year is 2019, repeated the stuck time traveler. 2018, 2017, 2016. I would hate being a time traveler that's stuck going in reverse. Oh my gosh, no. I kept blacking out and finding myself waking up in different places, so I thought I'd set up a camera to see what happens after I lose consciousness. A shiver ran down my spine as I saw myself walk towards the camera, smile, and turn it off. Every night, my brother giggles in his sleep. I asked him about it, and he says he hears it too. Nope, 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 nope. And in this moment, I'm happy I'm an only child. I let out a sigh of relief when I felt my seatbelt tighten as I jumped awake from the nightmare I just had of an 8-car pileup. My heart sank to my stomach when I saw the same log truck from my nightmare passing us on the interstate. Girl, you've just reached your final destination. I have an app that syncs with horror movies, and it beeps a few seconds before each jump scare to give me a fair warning. It works pretty well, but I think it's glitching because its beeping just woke me up and I wasn't synced to anything. The witch hunter scoffed at her threats because he knew her only power was shrinking things by ridiculously small degrees. Then agony exploded inside his head, and he stumbled to the dust and wreathed and sobbed and tore at his slightly smaller skull. My mother always told me there was nothing there in the dark that wasn't there in the light. That made me wonder if she could see them too. We always did everything as a couple. For some reason, I always was the one who had to dig the holes when the fun part was over. Next, he never listened to her when she told him no. That was why she made a batch of cookies with an extra ingredient, then told him not to eat them. That was a horrible wink. The black robe, the chanting, the leather-bound book, it was all bullshit. The only things that was real was Bethany's knife and her willingness to use it. The next one says, you know when you think, why would anybody ever do that? But then you do I almost never drop them off. Are all of these about murder? Oh my gosh. The nurse tried to tell me I was going to be fine. I don't know what she was shaking. The nurse tried to tell me I was going to be fine. I don't know what was shaking worse, her hands or her voice. The tide is the ocean whispering secrets, whispering secrets, whispering secrets to you. If you listen carefully, you'll never go in the water again. What the fuck are we going to do? I asked the man in the mirror. Don't worry, he told me with a smile that wasn't mine. I've got a plan. What sins have you committed, my son? The priest asked. I picked at the crusted blood under my nails and started at the top. I love going for evening walks with Michelle. Maybe one day I'll get up the guts to let her know that I'm there. Overpopulation is a serious problem. I'm doing what I can to help, but this is a solo operation, and you wouldn't believe all the work that goes into disposing of just one body. God is always watching, so it's my job to give him something to see. I was 6 years old the last time I blew out the candles on a birthday cake. When I heard the gunshot from my parents' room, I knew I'd gotten my wish. Bitch blood. There wasn't as much blood as I thought there would be my first time. Turns out that's what happens when you stab someone in the heart. One sense, I accidentally opened a package meant for my neighbor. Once I was done throwing up, I called the cops. What was in it? What was in it? I took the doors off my closet, put my mattress on the floor, and shrouded every mirror in the house. Somehow they still keep getting in. My uncle used to say that collections have a life of their own. I should have remembered that before I agreed to the terms of his will. The last one, guys. My parents always told me to stay away from the woods behind our house. They never told the things that lived in the woods to stay away from me, though. And on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, don't forget to show some love, like, subscribe, and comment down below which one fucked you up the most. I need to know. If you have your own Reddit-like story that you would like to share with me to read in a future video, make sure to email this email right here, which is also available in the description down below. The story does not have to be your own. Okay, just let me know the details. Lastly, if you're feeling generous and you wanna tip your waitress, here's how you can do that. This information is also down below with the email. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. Thanks so much for watching. Namaste.